Welcome back to Scissors and Scrubs. This is the end of summer recap.
Oh, do we have a recap?
We have a recap, Laura. This is going to come up somewhere around Labor Day. It's going to successfully end yet another world-renowned summer series.
World-renowned.
You know how everybody wants a piece of our summer series.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this one was really something this summer.
Well,
yeah, this is what I'm saying. So what we're covering today is a bunch of shit has happened this summer that we have talked about over the course of our 4 years of summer series.
Just
listen to us.
All I ask is listen to us. When I speak for a reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was a cartoon when I was a kid, Woody Woodpecker. And one of the episodes was, well, if Woody had just gone to the police, none of this would have happened. And it was said like through the whole cartoon, well, if he had just gone to the police, none of this would have happened. Well, if you had just listened to Scissors and Scrubs, none of this would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's a lot.
Do you want to kick it off? Or you want me to kick it off?
I think I have more.
Okay.
So I'll go first.
Yes.
Okay. So this story reverts back to our episode, I Got You Under My Skin, which was episode 80.
Buggies.
I think it's like the water amoeba.
Yes.
It was episode 80 that came out on August 23rd, 2021. So ABC News on July 31st, 2023 reported that a Georgia resident died after being infected with a rare brain-eating amoeba. Health officials in Georgia reported that the person likely contracted...
It's an N. Fowler or Fowley.
Naegleria fowleri.
It's a nasty little bug.
While swimming in a freshwater lake or pond. 2 weeks before, a 2-year-old in Nevada also died from this amoeba.
2 years old.
N. fowleri is so small it can only be seen with a microscope. It lives in soil and warm fresh water like lakes, ponds, reservoirs, rivers, and hot springs. It infects a person by entering their nose and migrating to the brain. It causes It causes primary amoebic meningoencephalitis, which affects the central nervous system and is almost always fatal. Symptoms begin 1 to 12 days after exposure. So you might think you're fine. And
then you get a
2 weeks after you've been in this water, you're like, what the fuck? The first stage is headache, nausea, vomiting, and fever. Second stage is stiff neck, seizures, hallucinations, altered mental status, and coma. Yeah. Patients typically die 1 to 18 days after being infected.
And I don't think many have lived from this.
No. Of the 157 cases of PAM between 1962 and 2022, only 4 people have survived.
That's not a lot.
No. If caught early enough, it can be treated with antifungals, azithromycin, and rifampin. So you can treat it, but the chances of knowing that that's what you have, because it can be, 12 days later, you're not even thinking, I was in the water
park.
Right. The risk of being infected is low, but the CDC says recreational swimmers should assume there is a risk when in warm, fresh water. So anytime you're in warm, fresh water, assume N. fowleri is around.
Reason 425 not to swim in a lake.
Oh, God, gross. It recommends not putting your head underwater in hot springs and other similar types of water, and to avoid digging in the sediment of warm, fresh water. Why you would ever do that? I don't even want to put my feet down in a lake.
No shit. Why would I be digging in it?
The only thing I like to do in a lake...
putting my head down in hot springs? Why are you going under the water? It's like being in a boiling pot. It's like being a lobster.
You shouldn't even... No, you should never put your head in it.
Why would you do that?
But even like a lake or whatever. Like up here, I know they're cold. They're obviously colder. But... I still don't like it, but the only reason my head would be in water is if I fall while water skiing or something, but no, I'm not putting my head in the water.
I'm an ocean girl. Yeah. I don't like lakes.
Yeah. And limit the amount of water that goes up the nose.
So wear one of those sexy nose plugs.
Yeah. If you swim in ponds or something, wear a nose plug. Try not to get the water.
Because it's only in your nose, right?
It's only if you get it in your mouth, you don't get this. Because your gastric system will kill it, but if it goes up your nose, it will go directly to your brain.
Well, that's revolting.
Yes, it's gross. But anyways, don't go in hot, fresh, warm water. It's gross anyways. Think of all that shit on the bottom.
Ugh. All those dead leaves and all the dead
vine. I'm afraid of the weeds.
It's everything in there. Yeah, it's just disgusting. No. If somebody drowns in a lake, it's because some weeds grab their legs.
You can be an excellent swimmer. You can't get out of those fucking weeds.
Yeah, it's gross.
No.
No, I don't like lakes.
Mm-mm.
Well, I'm following up with one of my favorite episodes,
Mm-hmm.
which was the grizzly attacks.
Mm.
It was cougars, sharks, and bears.
Oh my.
Episodes 10 and 11. I have to say, all our episodes are named by Mike, and I can't wait to see what he's going to call them on Monday mornings.
I mean, a lot of times they are clever. I don't usually tell them that, but they are clever.
They're
And
very
then
clever.
sometimes it's just like Memorial Day, and I'm like, well, what did you do?
Little
Get
boy
lazy?
and fat man.
Like-
Usually I like his take.
Yeah.
Or he takes one clip that we said,
Yeah.
he puts it in. I like, so this one was grizzlies, cougars, sharks, and bears. Oh my, I believe jellyfish were in that one too. So this is July 22nd of 2023. Amy Adamson, 48, is running on the Buttermilk Trail near West Yellowstone.
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous park. It's believed that Amy was running with no bear spray, stupid, or any other protection when she encountered a female bear and her cub.
Never good. Never good.
Never a good scene.
No.
And that's when I was...
I don't even want to encounter a turkey and their little baby
No shit.
turkeys.
No shit.
No.
But I would promptly shit myself if I came across a bear with a cub.
I literally, I
I
can't
would
even fathom.
die. I would die.
I would cry probably immediately.
So, tracks from an adult and cubs were found around her remains. Not her body. Her remains, Lara.
Mm-hmm.
A hiker found her remains
Mm-hmm.
on the trail later that day and reported it to rangers. Could you imagine you just hiking out, beautiful day,
Such
sunny,
a beautiful
great,
park.
and you find like an arm and a leg.
No.
Traps were set to capture the bear, but they were unsuccessful in capturing her. Thank God, because it's really not her fault. You should have had bear
No,
spray.
I mean, that's what an animal is going to protect.
You should have had bear spray. So Channel 7, KBZK of Bozeman, Montana, which I've been to. Gorgeous.
Nice.
Bears have also been spotted, page flip, all over the county, getting into people's pools. Have you been noticing? Because it was so hot this summer. They've been in people's pools, people's backyards.
They were in someone's pool in like New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Like last week.
Some woman just was out, like, she has a Ring camera on. She has her little shitty dog barking. She goes out. Fucking bear comes around the corner of the house. You hear her like, and the bear's just like, hey, what's going on? And she's screaming to high heaven.
Yeah.
Runs back in the house and he's like, well, I guess I'll leave then. And he just goes walking away. So what it tells you to do if you encounter a bear, which is not anything I would
Cry.
do.
I would
ID
cry.
yourself. Talk to it. Hey, bear. My name's Nicole.
I'm
Nice to
bigger and
meet you.
badder than you.
I have this. I have bear spray. I'll spray you with it.
You don't want to get on my bear bell.
You want the bear to know you're human.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Really? Because I think he knows by your smell you're fucking human.
Yeah.
Because I smell like shit. Because I would shit myself. A standing bear is usually just curious. Could you imagine a grizzly?
Oh, when they're standing. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're less dangerous when they're standing.
Right. That wouldn't scare the shit
No,
out of you.
I would die either way.
Because he goes now from being eyesight to being 10 feet tall.
No, I would die either.
Yes.
I'm telling you, we told you there was a raccoon on the deck.
I know.
I have my
That makes
back
me
door
laugh.
is glass. And we're getting ready to go to bed. We go to shut the. We did shut the lights off, and I look outside, and my outside light is on. There's a raccoon at my back door, and I am screaming on the top of my lungs,
Like
screaming.
he's going to open the door. Laura, what's up?
Well, they can fucking lift bricks off of trash barrels. They can
They
open a
can't,
door.
but he can't get that high. Can't reach a doorknob.
It was big. It was tall. If it stood up, it could have reached my doorknob.
Oh, you think?
I was
Little-
screaming.
Little tiny hands.
Yes, I couldn't sleep all
Little
night thinking it was
tiny
coming in my
raccoon
house. And Sam actually came downstairs like, what is happening? What is happening? And it was like right outside the door, and I'm screaming, and I'm like, put the light on so he sees us, so he gets like afraid. I don't know how
he
he
can
can
see
hear
what's
me.
in the house that he wants to eat.
So Mike flips the light on. It fucking comes closer. I'm now screaming even louder, and they're both like, what do you think it's gonna do? There's a door. I'm like, oh, get in somehow.
Did you ever see that moron on TikTok that feeds the raccoons
No,
out
who
of
would?
her kitchen window?
No.
She opens her kitchen window and she puts 2 dishes out. One will have like grapes and one will have marshmallows.
Why would you do that?
Because you're a fucking moron. Because guess what happens when a raccoon finds food?
It's gonna keep going there.
And what does he bring with him? All his friends.
Right. And his
So,
poop, which is
the
like
next
poisonous.
day, there's 2. Well, they're rabid.
Yeah, but the poop is like really.
They're
it can make you
disgusting.
wicked sick.
So now you get 2 of them. They eat garbage.
Yeah.
Why would you want him in your house? He's digging through your garbage, which is full of maggots, and my garbage kitty litter. He's digging through that shit. And I'm going to let him put his little fucking dirty feet in my dishes with marshmallows?
No.
I don't think so.
No.
So the next night, he's got his girlfriend with him. The next night, a couple of buddies in the back.
No.
Now you get 5 raccoons on your back
No,
deck.
I would die.
You are a
I
joke.
would
Don't feed the raccoons.
die. I literally wouldn't get out of my car
And
one
where
night
is a
after work.
raccoon going to find the shit in the wild? Do you think he's pulling up marshmallows
No,
out
they just
in
eat whatever.
Yellowstone?
They're going to eat whatever trash they find anyway. You don't have to feed them.
Exactly. You don't need to feed them.
One
okay?
night I pulled into the driveway and I saw one run across like in front of my headlights. This was years ago. And I called him like, well, I guess I'm staying in the car tonight. And he's like, well, because I saw a raccoon.
So now
He's
every
like,
time I leave your house,
Laura.
I'm terrified walking by your trash between the coyotes
They
and the
never
fucking
go in my
raccoon.
trash though.
Well, I'm terrified.
I just see them.
And we have to fucking bungee cord
No.
like we're laying in bed. I call him Rico and the man. That's the raccoon that lives in the tree behind my house. So we bungee cord the trash now because he's in it all the time. So all you can hear is thunk, thunk,
Hitting the bungee
thunk
cord.
as he's pulling the bungee cord. I'm done. I'm like, oh.
That's what I mean. Like
Can't
he was
get me,
literally on
fucker.
my deck.
Yeah.
Not in my trash.
No.
What are you on my deck
Because
for?
you have something better in the kitchen, baby.
Me. I was in the kitchen.
Well,
That's why I don't trust him.
You have marshmallows. I know you, and you have candy.
You know
I
I,
know what
don't
you got in
because I
your
would eat it
fucking
all. I
kitchen.
can't have it in my house.
I know what you got in your kitchen. So, Laura, if you see a grizzly in your path, ID yourself, okay?
Okay.
Stay calm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Make yourself big, right? Like,
Yeah.
aren't you supposed to, like, put your
Well,
arms...
a scream or sudden movement. You're doing it. You're doing it, Laura.
Almost the same.
You're doing it. She's lifting her arms up for the first time.
Not equal.
So a scream or sudden movement may cause the bear to attack. Talk calmly. Slow movements. Ass and elbows.
Ass and
That's what
elbows.
you're going to see, baby. Me in the other fucking direction.
Mhm.
Ass and elbows. Pick up small children. Yeah. There's another TikTok of this dopey, earthy, crunchy Whole Foods couple hiking through the mountains with the little kid, and there's a bear fucking following them for a mile. I'm like, again, pick up that fucking kid, ass and elbows, dude. I would leave my husband behind to throw
Oh, yeah.
rocks at it while I took off.
That's why he
Love you,
sleeps next to
Brian,
the door, because
but,
he's going to
yeah.
get it first, and I'm going to
Brian's
try
gonna
to get
throw it on.
escape.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hit it like Davy and Goliath. Okay? Travel in groups. If you listen to our episode, you'll know about the one kid that ran away. And, you want to just be faster than the slowest kid in the
That's
party.
right.
Because
Just travel
Yeah.
with someone who's slower than
he
you.
didn't stay with the pack. Let's just say that.
Travel with
Listen to-
someone that is slower than you.
Yep.
Mhm.
Don't allow bear access to your food.
Right.
Don't cook
No.
in the clothes. Don't sleep in the clothes you're cooking in.
Mhm.
Because if you smell like bacon, guess what? They're going to eat you.
Mm-hmm.
Don't drop your pack because it can protect you. So if it's coming after you, make sure your pack's on your back.
And curl
Play
up.
dead.
Mhm.
Let him attack the pack.
Mhm.
I love that they say all this because none of this I would follow. Don't run.
I might play dead, but I would probably just be passed out.
Right. Don't climb a tree, as you've seen all
They
those.
can climb trees.
You've seen all those videos of
Yeah.
these guys in like the deer stands and the fucking bears climbing up. Hey, what's going on? How do you stay calm? They're videoing. How do you stay
I
calm
would've
when there's a
jumped
black
off
bear
said
face?
deer
Yes,
stands.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'd break both my
To my
legs trying to
death.
get
Yeah.
away. Leave the area.
Yeah, immediately.
Take a detour. Don't cook in the clothes. We talked about it. Store food away from you.
Yes.
And bring bear spray.
Yeah.
Bring bear spray. Bring bear spray. Bring bear spray.
Mhm.
National Park Service. That's where I got that
Good job.
piece of tidbit information. Listen to that episode. One of my favorite. Tim
You're a
Treadwell.
sick person.
I'm fucking sick of it. I love that. That's one of my favorite episodes. All right, go ahead.
That's good. All right, this one goes back to our episode 12.
Oh, that's a way ago. That's a couple of years ago.
Boats, motorcycles, and golf carts.
Oh, my.
From August 5th, 2019. All right.
Mike recycled that one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he did a
So,
little bit
you
of
know what? We think he's original. He's really not.
Clearly not. Oh,
Obviously
my.
slacking back
This
then.
is going to be end of the summer series. Oh, my.
Yeah. You know it's now going to be, right? There's not another option. There's not a
End of
chance
summer
in hell
series.
it's anything else.
Oh, my.
Nope. Oh, God.
Oh,
So,
Mike, we love you.
on July 21st, 2023, 17-year-old Sadie Morrow, a rising senior at Dover Sherburne High School in Massachusetts, died in a boating accident
Oh.
in Scituate Harbor in Dennis, Massachusetts, which is down the Cape. Six people were on the boat when it crashed into a jetty at 9 p.m.
They're still investigating this, aren't they?
I was going to say now it
was
is
just on the news.
it was just they were investigating it. Now it is a criminal investigation. The initial report from the accident was several people were injured and one was missing. A search and rescue operation, including local, state, and federal authorities, began immediately. One male passenger was taken to a local hospital for a head laceration. The Barnstable County Dive Team and Sandwich Fire Department found Sadie's body at 11:30 p.m. off Cold Storage Beach in Dennis.
You know there's alcohol involved. You know it.
Well, I think that's the criminal investigation to me is they were drinking, but I don't know, but that's what I assume. Sadie's principal stated, quote, Sadie's smile could light up a room. She had a heart of gold and the sweetest spirit. She had such a strong sense of self and had a love of it for adventure and anything outdoors. A hardworking student and great athlete, Sadie was genuine and effortlessly kind. So, like we said, that it was just under investigation this week. I think they changed it to a criminal investigation.
I heard it on the news.
I don't know.
That's the great thing about re-recording. We've got
Right,
so much more to add.
updates. But they haven't said who else was on the boat. They haven't said how old the people were on the boat. They haven't said so that will all come out. But it was a senseless death of a 17-year-old girl. Safety tips for boating: learn how to swim and learn boat safety skills. Make sure everyone has a properly fitted U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket.
How many times do you see people on boats and nobody?
I never see anybody with a life jacket on. Maybe a little kid.
No.
Everyone should, because you could hit anything at any time and be into that water, and you could hit your head and be unconscious. That life jacket's the only thing keeping you up.
Yeah.
Know the weather conditions, and never boat in an area with a strong moving current. You know, don't be in something with a... Mike always tells me, so we have a house on an island in Maine, and across the channel is an island with a big fort on it. Like it's just a fort on the island. That's it. Like it takes up the whole entire landmass is a fort. He tells me, I don't know, 5 years ago, I'm going to kayak out to that.
Kayak.
I said, what? He goes, I'm going to kayak to that island with the fort. I said, you'll die. No, I won't. I'm like, do you not see this moving water?
Huge.
You will never get through this ever. And he's like, I don't know. It's not that far. I'm like, it's not the far. It's not the distance.
It's the current.
It's the current.
You'll exhaust yourself in the current.
Die. And he said,
he'll be back in Portland taking the ferry back.
Yeah. Needless to say, he has never attempted it because he will be dead. So never boat in an area with a strong moving current. Never operate a boat while under the influence. If you cannot drive a car, you cannot drive a boat. You cannot drive a four-wheeler. You cannot drive a jet ski. You can't drive anything if you are under the influence of anything. Tell someone your plan, where you are going, who you are with, and how long you will be gone. Because then they'll know, oh, she said she's going to be back at 7.
Right. And we haven't
It's now 7:45. Haven't heard from her. We got to send somebody out. And do not speed. There are obstacles in the water you can't see that are just below the surface. Like literally just below.
They just had these 2 people. Did you see that on the news?
I don't know.
2 people were taking their boat. They had just bought the boat in New Hampshire.
Oh, yes.
They were taking it down the coast.
Yeah.
They hit a shipwreck. They didn't know it was there.
Yeah.
And destroyed the boat. Destroyed the boat. And had to get rescued from that. And their mother was riding down the coast. Did you know that?
No.
So the wife is in a car, driving, following them down. And she's the one who called for help.
Oh my God.
Because the boat went, it
sunk. Yeah.
They didn't know the waters and they hit an underground shipwreck.
Like anything can be right under that. You can't tell. Like if you look out at the water on the island, it looks like, oh, it's,
calm and clear.
Calm and crystal clear. The rock is literally a half inch below. And I know it's there because I see it at low tide. But if you had come in, you would have no idea. And maintain a proper lookout. If you are driving a boat, someone else on the boat is supposed to be your lookout for buoys, for signs of anything. Like you need someone on the boat looking at the water at all time for possible problems. That's boating.
My husband's already taken, he dives and he's been called to get buoy lines unwrapped from propellers because they're not paying attention and they run over the lobster traps and then the rope gets all tied up in the propeller and they fucked. When you talk about the girl getting hit and going to the jetty, I think of the Murdochs.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched that on Netflix, you got to watch the Murdochs.
It's so good.
What a fucked up family. But the kid was driving drunk on a boat.
Like belligerently drunk.
Yeah. And he killed somebody.
Some poor girl, they hit the bridge.
Yeah.
The pilings for the bridge.
She hit her head, died.
Yeah, that was awful.
Terrible. Terrible story. But it's a good documentary.
It is.
I was like obsessed with that doc. I watched everything on that family I could possibly watch. All right. We're going to talk about, since my husband just got his Dive Master,
Oh, did he get it?
He got it.
Oh, good.
He got it.
Hey,
Paperwork's in.
Congratulations.
Our episode 79, more water issues. We're going to talk about the scuba diver that died in Rockport.
Oh, yeah.
July 25th of 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah Elizabeth Nivens, 40. She had gone diving with her father on a chartered boat trip. My husband's been on this particular charter many times. There was a group of 10 divers on the excursion.
Mm-hmm.
A disaster signal went out to the harbor master that a diver came up and was unresponsive. Fellow divers were performing CPR when the harbor master arrived. Sarah was taken to a local hospital, and then she was shipped into Boston, and 2 days later she was pronounced dead.
Mm-hmm.
Rockport PD and the Mass State Police divers are investigating the incident. That came from Boston local news.
Okay.
Scuba diving ain't no fucking joke.
No.
All right, you got to take it very serious.
Yeah.
We had gone to some event because, he's really into scuba diving this year.
Obviously.
So we went to this scuba diving event, and this fucking old guy shows up. His cane is a shark.
Oh,
God bless.
God.
And he can barely walk.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be 1,000 years old.
And he puts that tank on his back.
And I literally looked at the woman who owns the dive shop. I'm like, please tell me he doesn't dive. She goes, oh, he does.
Oh.
He's getting over septic shock because he cut his foot while he was diving, and he's a severe diabetic.
Oh, God.
I was like, what asshole doctor cleared this guy to dive?
I know.
He
Well,
should
they
never-
probably told him not to, but he probably...
He should never be cleared.
No.
Never. Never, never, never. So, scuba safety tips.
Okay.
Never dive without a buddy. Never dive without a buddy. Never dive without a
Don't
buddy.
swim without a buddy. Don't do anything in
Mhm.
water without a buddy.
The thing is, scuba is a male-dominated sport,
Mm-hmm.
so you get that ego going in. They all
Mhm.
fucking go alone.
Mhm.
All right.
And
Never
don't ask for
dive
directions.
if you have a head cold,
Ooh.
because you're equalizing underwater, and that can be a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
One of Brian's buddies is a pilot, and they were diving, and the guy was complaining that he had sinus pain, and he flew. And he blew his sinus on the plane. He's like, all of a sudden, he stopped complaining of the pain, but blood was pouring out of his nose. Because he popped his sinus. Always plan your dive and dive your plan.
Yes.
So you know where you're going, you know what you're looking at. I'm going down so many feet, I'm coming up so many feet, because your air is dependent on how many feet you go. There's a lot of calculations.
Don't change your mind
involved.
while you're underwater.
No, I don't dive, because I'm terrible at math, and I'd fuck up my air, and I'd be like, oh, I got plenty of air, and I'd run out. You know?
You really should.
That's
never
one of
do
the big
that.
reasons.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
and I'm
yeah.
a skimmer. I'm not going to be the
No,
worst.
don't
Fuck
do that. No.
Always check your equipment and use proper equipment. When you're traveling, a lot, like my husband travels with his regulator, because that's what actually you're breathing with.
Right.
He doesn't rent any of that shit. Don't drink or do drugs before driving. The stories I've heard. So obviously these dive destinations are Caribbean
Right.
parties. Everybody's out drinking the night before. They were telling the story of this guy. He's out drinking. Nobody's thinking of it. He's out drinking. They get him on the boat. He's like, I'm fine. He's puking through his regulator
Oh.
multiple times and then the fish cup.
Oh,
and they're
God.
eating all the puke. Like, just kept throwing up through his regulator. I'm like, why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Like
to
the
yourself?
first time, I mean, don't do it. Then the first time you actually puke in it, come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, be done
No,
now.
he puked multiple times.
That's disgusting.
Check with the doctor about your health and medications before you dive.
Mhm.
Know if the area you're diving is hazardous. You know about the marine life you're dealing with,
Yeah.
like barracudas and sharks and stuff. Even the sea urchins and the anemones, they can be poisonous. Some of the coral can really burn you.
Yeah.
Obey all diving instructions, and don't fly 12 hours after diving, because you don't want
Blood
pressure, and you don't want to get the bends and all that other shit. So please, if you're going to scuba dive, which is not my favorite sport in the world, though my husband, as he likes to say, it's his other favorite ing word.
Oh, God.
Yep, that's what he likes to say all the
yeah.
time. God bless.
Yeah.
He eats, sleeps, and breathes it.
I know, he
loves
really
it.
does love
It's
it.
not my thing. I
No.
don't do that. All right, Laura, take it away.
My sister actually went to high school with that girl.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
And they don't know what happened to her. Like, she wasn't that old.
She's 40.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened. They always say, oh, they drowned. Yeah, well, no shit, they drowned. But what caused her to drown? Like, did she have a stroke? Did she have a heart attack? Like,
Right.
what happened
What
that she
happened?
stopped breathing underwater?
So, on that note, my mother is telling me today that someone we know's, like, friend's husband was sitting there eating dinner. He's eating a steak tip. He chokes. Then he went into cardiac arrest and died. I'm like, he choked to death.
Yes.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. That's what she said. So he choked. So why would he go? I'm like, because he couldn't breathe. So he choked
eventually,
to death.
if you
It wasn't like a separate event.
Yeah.
It was all one event.
He
choked
stopped breathing
to death.
because he,
Oh, that's what I was thinking, but I was really hoping that wasn't what
nobody
it
could give him
was.
the Heimlich enough to get
No
that
one could
steak
get
out.
the steak out, and he died. He choked to death.
Were
But
people
anyways,
giving him the Heimlich and they just
I
couldn't
don't
get
know.
it?
I don't know. I assume because he was with other people, but I don't know.
Oh, so important to know that Heimlich.
I mean, but sometimes you can't. That's the Heimlich to me is the scariest thing.
Because you don't know if you're going to get it
If
out.
you can't get it out, that's it. And that's
Mhm.
it's the scariest thing. Anyways, but it's just a diver. Oh, she drowned.
But what did
Well,
kill
yeah,
caused
and
her to drown?
And the person who choked he had died of a cardiac arrest, but because of the choking. he
Right.
choked to death.
Like, so what caused it?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is goes back to Cougar, Sharks, and Bears.
Oh, my.
Part 1, which is episode 10 from July 15th, 2019. I got this from Tampa Bay Times, baynews9.com. A man in his 20s was on a boat off of the north end of Anna Maria Island in Florida on July 31st, 2023. He got off the boat and into the water and was bitten on his lower leg by a shark around 3:40 p.m. Someone on the boat, luckily, jumped into action, applied a tourniquet to his leg, and rushed him to the Kingfish ramp where the Manatee Fire Department was already there responding to a boat crash that happened.
I'm sorry, Laura. Did you just say the Manatee Fire
I believe
Department?
that's the name of a town.
Manatee.
Yeah, I believe so.
Such a Florida
I
name.
know.
Such a Florida
Right.
name.
But he brings him to this ramp, and it just so happens the fire department's already there because there was a boat crash at the ramp.
Probably drinking.
Yeah. So he rushes the shark attack victim there, and then the fire department immediately acts on him, and he's rushed to, I believe it's a Blake Hospital. His condition was not released. Last year, Florida had 16 shark attacks, which represents 39% of the world's unprovoked shark
That's
bites.
a lot.
It's huge.
That's a lot.
It's almost half of the
Yeah.
world's unprovoked shark
That's
bites.
a lot.
The Manatee Fire Marshal says people should not go into the water alone. Do not go into the water at dawn or dusk when shark activity is greater. And do not get into water in areas where fishing is occurring. So I think this man on the boat, they were fishing out there and he got into the water and there was a shark because they
Why
come
the
out.
fuck would you do that?
I don't
Why
know.
would you do that?
That is why
You're
the fire...
literally chumming the waters.
Right. So the fire marshal is saying, do not go into water that is being fished. And that's that on that shark attack.
Well, Laura, I'm going to follow up your shark attack
Okay.
with another shark attack.
Okay.
August 8th, 2023, Rockaway Beach, New York.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to read it directly because this was done after we did the episodes, so we didn't write these down. Rockaway Beach in Queens. Woman bitten by a shark on Rockaway Beach is the first confirmed shark bite in New York City in recent memory, says the New York City Parks Department. Rockaway and Jones Beach were closed to swimmers Tuesday after the incident. A 65-year-old victim suffered a shark bite Monday evening, and after increased surveillance, there was a shark sighting near the shores of Jones Beach Tuesday morning. The woman was standing in the water near the beach, 59th Street, such a New York thing. 59th Street in Rockaway Beach, just before 6 p.m. When are you not supposed to be swimming?
Dawn and dusk.
Dawn and dusk. When she felt a sharp pain in her left leg, causing her to fall backwards into the water. No. He can have my calf, but
You
he
gotta
can't
get
the
up.
rest of me.
Yeah.
NYPD officers applied a life-saving tourniquet, and she was taken to Jamaica Hospital in critical condition.
Oh, jeez.
On Tuesday afternoon, she was upgraded and was said to be stable. Her wound was so deep that she nearly bled to death. She was identified as a Queens resident who lives in Astoria. We hope for a full recovery for this swimmer. Though this was a frightening event, we want to remain New Yorkers that shark attacks and Rockaways are extremely rare. For now.
Yeah.
We remain vigilant in monitoring the beach and always clear the water when a shark is spotted. You just said there's no fucking sharks. So how vigilant could you possibly be? The department said in a statement, the Parks Department is working with an NYPD and FDNY to beef up drone surveillance. Experts say shark bites are extremely rare, with only 57 unprovoked bites last year, according to the University of Florida. Yeah, and they all fucking happen in Florida.
Right.
The shark bite occurred amid a rise in shark sightings in New York City and Long Island beaches due to factors including improved water quality, This is the thing. We're getting really eco-sensitive. Well, they're bringing all the fucking great whites.
Yeah.
And thriving populations at the bunker fish that Sharks feeds on. So
The fish are thriving. So.
And we love to go and hang out. In fact, we're going to hang out at Nahant Beach tomorrow. And guess what they've been sighting off on Nahant Beach?
Great white sharks.
Great white sharks.
Yeah.
Did you hear one of them washed up and it was all bitten to shit?
The shark?
Yes. Like it was like a 10-footer.
And something else was biting it.
Yes. Yes.
No, I did not hear that.
Why,
Nicole.
Laura, do I hate the fucking ocean?
Now I'll be just
Let
dipping
me
my
tell you
toes
why.
tomorrow.
1,432,000 why I don't like the ocean.
Here? The shark washed up here?
No, I don't remember where it washed up, but it was like a 10-foot great white washed up, and it was all chewed up.
Oh, Jesus.
But it was those orcas. They ain't no good either.
No, they're dangerous. Yeah, we're going. There was 2 shark sightings in Nahant where we go.
Yeah. They're out there, man.
I go to my knees.
Yeah, because I can see it coming at least.
Sometimes my waist.
So there's that picture, and it's a seal going to the beach, and there's a fucking orca behind him. And I'm like, again, Laura, what would I do? I would shit myself.
I'd hope I just have a heart attack and die immediately, to be honest.
I would shit
but,
myself if I saw that coming at me.
Yeah, not good.
All right, so is it me or you?
It doesn't matter.
We did shock attacks, right?
Yeah. So we have goes back. I couldn't find what episode this goes back to, but it's a drowning. We definitely spoke
because I have
of
a drowning
swimming.
too. Good. I chalked it up to episode 12: boats, motorcycles, golf carts.
Oh my!
Well, you know what?
Mike and I
Really?
are original.
That's literally like the 4th on my
Lazy.
episode.
Jesus Christ, we
just
do all this
complimenting
work
you.
and you lazy.
WTF?
Jesus.
End of summer series. Oh
my.
There's your episode, Mike.
Yep. Done for you. Don't even think about it. So I got this information from CBS News and WeliaHealth.org.
Welia.
That's what it looks like. Welia. Louis Tejeda of Lynn, Mass. was swimming with family at Shannon Beach in Winchester, Massachusetts on July 15th. So this is there's lakes and ponds in Winchester you can swim at, not an ocean. His family noticed he went under and did not.
The ocean's not that far. Why wouldn't you just go to the ocean?
Some people like lakes. I don't get it. His family noticed he went under and did not resurface and called 911.
And we know why, Laura.
Yeah.
It's all those fucking weeds.
Police say Lewis and his family were swimming well outside the designated swim area. Lewis was approximately 100 yards offshore when family realized he went under. The problem with being 100 yards offshore is you have to swim another 100 yards to get back into shore, and you are exhausted by then. Mm-hmm. His body was discovered in the area he was last seen in 6 feet of water.
Oh.
The beach has no lifeguards after 6 p.m.
I can't imagine what it must be like for those divers to find them.
No, that's awful.
And see that body floating.
I know they want to find them so you can get the body
Right.
and bring them, but at the same time, just to do it is awful.
It's disgusting.
Safety tips for swimming. Never swim alone. Supervise children. If a child goes missing, check the water first because you only have seconds to find them in the water. Swim in designated areas that are supervised by lifeguards. Have young or inexperienced swimmers wear U.S. Coast Guard approved life jackets that fit correctly. Enter the water feet first. I said, when we recorded this before, I said it. Our friend had our little kids at the beach and I was in the water with them and they started to swim out and I'm a nut. Mm-hmm. And I was like, nope. In the water, you always walk out and swim back because then you can't get in trouble because you can't get over your head if you're walking out. So, because if you swim out, all of a sudden that water can drop and it's 10 feet deep and you can't touch the bottom. I said, you always walk out, swim back, walk out, swim back. They're like, oh, okay. And so they walked out and then they would swim back. But people don't know. They just go for a swim, but that can, you know how fast those can drop. That can drop to 10 feet in no time.
This beach is like you're going a foot and it drops off.
Yeah. Always walk out, swim back. Enter the water feet first. Stay away from pool drains if you are in a pool. Do not play breath holding games, which I always did growing up, and I
can hold my breath longer than you can.
I would
drown yourself.
I would be drowning, and because I won't lose.
I know.
I could swim. My grandmother had an in-ground pool, with the 4 corners, like a rectangle, and we would swim. We would play like 4 corners, so you started at 1, and you'd have to swim all 4 without coming up. But then that got like easy. So then we would do 8. And then we would do how many times can you get around? I won every goddamn time. I don't know how I didn't drown. I think I could get around 3 times.
CPR, but
I think I could get around 3 times. Don't do that. It's not safe. Avoid alcohol. If someone is struggling in the water, don't jump in because they will grab onto you and pull you under. Throw them a life-saving device, a life jacket, anything that floats that they could grab onto, a rope, anything. Take breaks. Know what drowning looks like. Drowning doesn't look like
what you
drowning.
think it's going to look like.
That usually when someone is drowning, it looks like their mouth is water level. Like literally their head is tilted back and their mouth is just at the level of the water. Their arms are usually out to their side, just sitting there out to their side, not flailing.
Right.
Like I said, their head is tilting back. Their body is vertical. They're not laying down. They're up and down, straight up and down. The person is gasping and cannot call for help. Drowning is very quiet. Know that they're not going to be thrashing. If they're thrashing around, obviously help them if they're thrashing around, but they're not drowning if they're thrashing. If they are quiet and still, they are drowning. And that's safety tips for swimming.
Well, last week we just had, there was a woman in my town who owned some spas and stuff, and we ran in the same circles. I know people she knows. I didn't know her personally. She was up in New Hampshire with her family hiking, and they went to a waterfall. People forget that the water under a waterfall can have a very strong vortex to it. Her 10-year-old fell into the vortex and was getting into trouble. So she jumped in after him. Her other 2 kids jumped in because she started having trouble. All 3 kids survived and she drowned. Yeah. She was only 44 years old.
I know.
Her funeral, I think, is Thursday, or her wake is Thursday. It's the most tragic thing I've heard in a very, very long time. I'm going to substitute it for the story I was originally telling because it was just, people forget, like, when you see people rafting and they're near dams and they're near whitewater, those rapids have a suction to them that will suck you under and you're not getting out no matter how strong you are. So you've got to be very, very careful. Any mother would have jumped in to save their child.
Like they say, like, throw something to... If my kid's in that water, I'm going in.
I'm going in.
It doesn't matter.
Because I'm going to think I can do it. You know, and I may die. I'd rather die saving my child.
It's just an instinct. It's an instinct. I don't even think you have a thought. Right. You don't even have a thought in your head. You just do it. But
I would rather die saving my child than have anything else happen.
I know. I just feel like those poor kids. Obviously, it is not that child's fault in any way.
No.
But how do you live with thinking
and then, like, you can't even say to your kid, I didn't die so you can become a fuck up. So make sure you make something of yourself. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't die so you can become a heroin addict because you watched me die.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to talk about ATVs.
Okay.
I don't know what episode. This was another one. I can't remember what episode it was. There's probably ATVs, motorcycles, and I don't know, snowmobiles on mine.
Oh my.
So it's July 30th, 2023 at 9:00 p.m. Oh, sorry. Bye, Pluto. Bye, baby. Edward Roberge, 54, of Middleton, New Hampshire, was riding on John Jones Road. It's a Class 6 road. I don't know what that means, but it was a Class 6 road.
Okay.
Something caused him to swerve, and he flipped his ATV and was pinned underneath it. He was pronounced dead on the scene, which means I'm going with this guy wasn't wearing a helmet. It is believed operator error and a lack of protective equipment, not wearing a helmet, were contributing factors, according to New Hampshire Fish and Game. So few rules when you're on an ATV. Always ride on designated trails. Yes. ATVs are not meant to be on pavement. No. They will skid. They will flip on pavement.
They can't catch. They want to catch the dirt.
Right. Always, 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 always helmets, goggles, boots, long sleeves, and pants. Yes. Even on a motorcycle and anything, because if you dump the bike, the clothing will take the road rash instead of your skin.
I hate seeing those kids riding their bikes flying through, and they have short sleeves on and shorts. I'm like, your skin is gone. You have no skin left.
I was taking my daughter to the mall today. Shocker! I'm taking my daughter to the mall, and I had my younger son in the front seat. She's in the back with her friend, and there's a guy on this rickety old fucking moped. Like, literally, the moped was like 1973, and he's riding in the gutter of the road, right? Yeah. So every time he hits a sewer or something, you can see the wheel kind of fucking wavering. I literally am grabbing Garrett. I'm like sweating. Yeah. He's like, are you afraid he's going to wipe out in front of you and you're going to watch him all over the road? I'm like, yep, that's exactly. So I fly by him just to get him in my rearview mirror because I couldn't stand the thought of this guy wiping out in front of my car.
I hate it.
Because then I'd have to stop and it would ruin my whole day. So please wear shit when you're going to do that. Yes. Never carry a passenger on a single ride ATV. No. Make sure you have the appropriate what you've got to do. This is the Mass Department of Natural Resources.org is where I got that shit.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay. I have a jet ski,
Oh, jet
which I
ski.
also couldn't find, so it's probably in that same
Jet ski
episode.
boats, oh my.
Yep. I got this from 13newsnow.com. On July 30th, 2023, a 16-year-old boy crashed the jet ski he was driving into the pontoon boat his stepfather was driving on York River in Gloucester, Virginia. Marine police officers responded to the Gloucester Point boat ramp around 3 p.m. There were 10 family members on that pontoon boat.
Oh my God.
When the collision occurred, they retrieved the teen from the water and brought him to the ramp. He was declared dead at the scene.
So they all saw it.
They all saw him die. Yep. The crash is under investigation. It is unclear who caused the crash. I shouldn't say he crashed into the pontoon. The jet ski he was driving and the pontoon crashed
Collided,
together.
and
They
nobody
haven't
knows what
said
happened.
who hit who.
Who's
It's
zooming?
under investigation. Alcohol is not
Thought to be
thought
involved.
to believe to be
Probably
involved
just an
in any way.
experience.
Yep. And no foul play was involved. They're hard to drive. Like, they're fun. I used to drive them when I was a kid. My mother's boyfriend had them. We thought they were a blast, and we would be out there driving them. But you're a small, I mean, a 16-year-old boy might be bigger, but when you're a smaller kid, those are
things are big.
heavy, and they're strong, and
Yeah.
they're powerful, and they're fast. Like, it's hard. Especially if you had to turn fast if the boat was
Right.
there or something.
And if you're in a lake, it's not as big as the ocean. Where
Right.
You don't have enough room to turn.
Right. Safety tips for jet skis. Wear a life jacket. Wear a watercraft helmet. They make those now. Like, they didn't
Yeah.
have those years ago.
Because
Now
that
they
could be
have
exactly what killed him. Is he
Right,
his
you hit
off
your
the
head and
boat,
that's
too.
it.
Yeah.
You hit your head anytime. That could be the end of it. Don't drink. Don't speed. It's like driving a car. I know they feel like toys, but they're
everybody
not.
thinks that because they're on a boat or something.
I know.
Let's have a few beers. It's
Right.
fine. We're
It's-
fine. We're on the water. What are we going to hit?
The water. You're going to hit the
Or
water.
something under it.
Right.
Or a rock. Or
But if you're
somebody
going
else.
fast enough, water is like cement. Like, and always maintain your jet ski. Like, make sure it's been serviced. It's been up to date. The brakes work. The this works. The that works. Like, maintain it to keep it safe.
They just had Lake Winnipesaukee something. One boat crashed and destroyed another one and ran off.
Oh God!
Left the boat and took off. These
Oh,
people,
geez.
you know, they were drinking.
Yeah.
Lake Winnipesaukee is so congested. You
It's
know,
very. I mean, it's a fun time, but it's
But
very
it's
congested.
very congested.
You had another one, right?
I don't, but it's tornadoes
got my-
next. I think.
Okay, I got a tornado.
I have the tornadoes from yesterday.
All right. So I have my tornado one. This is from WCVB.com, CDC.gov. And this goes back to the July 24th episode, which was number 136. Tornadoes.
Oh my!
Oh my. The National Weather Service confirmed an EF1 tornado with an estimated speed of 105 miles per hour touched down in Foxborough, Massachusetts at 8:17 p.m. on July 29th this year. This is right after we put out the tornado episode, and I feel like we've kicked off tornado season in Massachusetts.
Honest to God, because I've never heard of fucking tornado.
We
like,
never
one.
have tornado, like literally one.
But
And-
you know what? If you look at the news, they'd be like, and this is only tying with 1972. They had 12 that year. I'm like, really? We don't get tornadoes.
No, it's weird. It was like we put it out and then we started
Yeah.
getting tornadoes. I feel like we jinxed everything. The width of this tornado's path was 25 yards and the path length was about 300 yards. This was the second tornado in 2 weeks to touch down in Massachusetts. An EF0 touched down in North Brookfield in Worcester County on July 16th. It was also the third tornado in New England in the month of July. On July 28th, an EF1 with max winds of 90 to 95 miles per hour touched down in Dublin, New Hampshire.
Oh, Dublin.
The Jason Aldean concert
Oh.
was held the night the tornado touched down in Foxborough in Mansfield, which is like it borders Foxborough at the Xfinity Center. It's less than 5 miles from the tornado where the tornado
People are
touched
pissed
down.
at, but that they didn't clear out the Xfinity Center for that.
Well, they did, but it was very confusing.
Sorry for making a racket, but I'm trying to keep this chair from hitting the wall.
Concert goers were evacuated from the Xfinity Center and told to wait in their cars. What if I dropped my kid off
Right.
at the concert?
Right.
Where would they
going to
go?
go?
Concert goers said they
And
received.
you need to know the Xfinity Center is outside.
It's out. It's like a steel roof frame.
Right. But
but
most of it
open.
is lawn
Yeah.
seats and outside.
The concert goers said they received mixed messages and what to do and felt they need a more clear plan
On
in
how to
case
evacuate.
of tornadoes
Right.
at the Xfinity Center. They said like the police came in and were like, get out, get out, get out. The things like I think they were flashing on the screens like there's a warning, but shelter in place. Like, so it was very
Shelter in place
confusing.
outside.
Well, probably under that. I don't know. But it was very confusing on what they
should be
wanted
doing.
to do. Safety tips if you are caught in a tornado. Falling debris causes the most harm in tornadoes. Go to a basement or an inside room with no windows on the lowest floor you can get to. Avoid rooms with windows. Get under a table, a workbench, something heavy that can catch debris from falling on you. Cover your body with a blanket, a sleeping bag, a mattress, something, again, to protect you from flying debris. If you're outside, if you're in a car, don't stay in it, get to somewhere.
Right.
Try to get to somewhere close that looks sturdy that you can get to that is safe. Try to find something very, very sturdy that can protect you from debris that is flying around you. But
So-
the tornadoes haven't stopped.
Right. Well, yesterday, what's today's August 19th? Yesterday, August 18th. We didn't get these storms.
No.
But they came through the middle of Massachusetts, and we got 4 tornadoes.
4 tornadoes
touched
in
down
one day.
yesterday. One of them was an F2.
Yeah.
Which is pretty shocking for
Right.
Massachusetts. So they had this video of a highway. When you look at the tornado, if you were from Oklahoma, you'd fucking laugh in our
Yeah, you'd
face.
be like,
It's
"That's
like
a-"
when we laugh at the South over the snow.
Right.
You would laugh in our face because it was like a water spout.
It was
like a-
it was real quick, real
Right.
small.
It was just across the highway, and it cuts between these 2 cars. But it did pick up a car. It took it up like 200 feet in the air,
Oh my
spun
God.
her around, and dropped her in the middle of the highway. And her daughter was in the car behind
Oh
her
my
watching
God.
this whole thing. But like the guy was like, I saw it coming. He's the one, he had one of those car cams,
Oh, yeah.
and it was videoing it. And it just went between all the cars. So there wasn't a ton of damage. There was trees down, shingles, but like it hit houses, but the houses were still
Right.
standing. But I don't remember as a kid ever hearing the tornadoes hitting Massachusetts.
No.
We had 4 confirmed yesterday.
4 in one day. Like
in one
that's
day. So
for around here, that's completely crazy.
it's ridiculous.
The
It's
meteorologists are losing their minds.
Oh my God, they're all excited.
Then my son goes to San Diego with the Navy. They're getting their first hurricane of all time this weekend.
Ever recorded.
Literally first hurricane ever. My son's out there. I'm like, what is happening with this?
This world is going crazy.
We're getting
man.
tornadoes. He's going to have a hurricane out
Yeah,
there.
the world's getting crazy.
Yeah, at least he'll be like, okay, yeah, I got it. I got strong winds. We get nor'easters all the time.
Yeah, but he's in the part of the country where there's no stable terra firma. It's just going to all
all right, let's
fall
not
into
talk
the
about
ocean.
that. Okay,
All
let's
right,
not
he's going
talk
to be
about
covered
that.
in mud. So that is the end of this lovely world-renowned summer series of this year. You know, it's been wonderful. I don't know what the fuck we're going to talk about next summer.
We'll figure it out.
Somebody will send us something,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
We'll figure it out.
You guys have been quiet over the summer. I'm going
Yeah.
to check it up to vacation.
You guys everybody away?
I don't know, but I expect to be hearing from some of you guys. All right? I know you're out there.
Right.
I know
I
we
get
don't have
little
5
messages
listeners.
on
Yeah.
our social media,
Oh,
but
do you?
nothing about. Yeah, but nothing like
Well, I mean, if
life
we'd-
altering.
If we had stayed on TikTok, Laura, would have been fucking huge. But we just can't do it.
Our
I get we
kids-
can't do it, but if
our
we,
kids won't let us.
I know, and if we had stayed on it though, we'd have been huge.
I know,
You know,
but our
we would have been
children-
something.
Our children have warned us against it.
So it's up to you guys to spread the word about this podcast because
Yeah.
we can't TikTok it. So send us some emails. We miss everybody. Where have you been? Tell us about your summer. Tell us what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Tell us if you've seen anything horrific happen or anything good happen. We'll take it all.
Right.
So that's the end of the series.
Yeah.
I have no idea what we're doing in the next 2 weeks, but we'll figure it
We'll
out.
surprise you.
And have a wonderful Labor Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Please be careful.
Yeah.
This may even come out after Labor Day. I don't know when this one's coming
Might
out.
be after Labor Day.
But fall
Not
is
sure.
in
Might
the
be
air.
on Labor Day.
Fall is in the air.
It's coming. Pumpkins
It's
out.
coming.
Pumpkins at Dunks.
Oh, pumpkin is at Dunks. Not in full
It's my
force yet,
fave.
but it is in Dunks.
It's my fave.
And Halloween candy's in the stores. And it's only August
Also my
19th.
fave.
So we'll see you soon. Be safe. Bye.
Bye.
Like, subscribe, rate, and review the Scissors and Scrubs podcast on whatever podcast app you listen to us on. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Scissors and Scrubs. And email us any of your stories or thoughts to scissorsandscrubs@gmail.com.